Imagine standing at a checkout counter, holding out your card, and realizing the cashier's hands are trembling so badly she can barely scan your items. You ask her why, and the answer she finally gives changes everything you thought you knew about courage, kindness, and doing what is right. Stay with me until the end. You will not believe what happened when one single dad decided not to stay silent. Before we begin, if you believe kindness can change lives, please like this video and subscribe to Kindness Stories so we can keep sharing true and inspiring tales. It was a quiet evening at a small-town grocery store in Portland, Oregon. The store was not busy, just a handful of customers slowly pushing their carts down the aisles. Daniel Carter, a 36-year-old single dad, was in line with a few groceries. His young daughter, Emily, stood beside him holding a box of cereal as if it were the most precious treasure in the world. When they reached the counter, Daniel noticed the cashier. She looked to be in her early 20s and was struggling to scan the items. Her name tag read Sophie. But what caught his attention was not her name. It was her hands. They were shaking, not from cold, but from nerves, fear, or something much deeper. Daniel placed the milk on the counter and watched her fumble with the scanner. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked gently. She gave a small, forced smile, the kind that says, "I don't want to talk about it," and mumbled, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just a bit tired." But Daniel was not convinced. He had been through too much in life to ignore signs of someone hurting. As a firefighter for nearly a decade before leaving the job to raise Emily alone, he had seen fear in people's eyes. He saw it now. She tried punching in the code manually, her fingers trembling so badly she had to erase and retype. "Are you sure?" he asked softly. "Because it looks like something's wrong." Sophie's eyes flicked briefly toward the manager's office, a glass room on the far side of the store, then quickly away. "It's nothing," she insisted. "Just a long day." Emily, honest in the way only children are, tilted her head and asked, "Are you cold? Daddy can give you his jacket." Sophie let out a tiny chuckle that did not reach her eyes. "No, sweetheart. That's very kind, but I'm okay." Daniel's gut told him otherwise. He paid, thanked her, and started to walk away. But halfway to the exit, something in him refused to let it go. He turned back and saw Sophie lean against the counter as if steadying herself. Then the store manager, a stocky, middle-aged man with a permanent scowl, stepped out of his office and barked something at her in a sharp, low voice. She stiffened instantly. That was when Daniel knew this was not about tiredness. He waited until the other customer left, then approached again. "Listen," he said quietly, leaning in so Emily wouldn't overhear. "I noticed you keep looking toward your manager's office. If something's wrong, you can tell me." Sophie's lips parted, then closed again. "I really shouldn't," she whispered. It's nothing I can talk about." Daniel lowered his voice. "I'm a dad. I've seen enough to know when someone's in trouble. I'm not walking away without making sure you're safe." For a moment, it looked like she might break down. She glanced at the office again, then at Daniel. Her fingers tightened on the edge of the counter. Finally, in the faintest voice, she said, "It's him. He harasses me." Daniel felt his chest tighten. "He harasses you? How?" Her eyes glistened. "Comments touching my shoulder when he walks by, standing too close, saying things no one should say at work. I told him to stop once, and he cut my hours." She swallowed hard. "I need this job. My rent is overdue. I can't afford to make him angrier." Daniel looked at Emily, blissfully unaware, humming as she played with a keychain. He knew what it felt like to be powerless. After losing his wife, when bills stacked up and each day felt like a battle, he learned what desperation looked like. He took a breath. "Sophie, you don't have to face this alone." She shook her head. "Please don't say anything. It will only get worse." But Daniel was not the kind of man who walked away. He did not confront the manager right then, not with Emily there, and not when Sophie was this shaken. Instead, he promised Sophie he would return, took Emily to the car, and called his sister to watch her. When he came back, the store was quieter. Sophie was still at the counter, forcing a brittle smile. Daniel waited until no one else was in line. "I know you told me not to get involved," he said, "but I can't pretend I didn't hear what you said." Sophie's eyes widened. "Please, Daniel." "I'm not going to shout at him," he assured her. But I know the law. There are ways to make him stop. And I'll stand by you when you report this. She trembled. I'm scared. I know, he said softly. Courage doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you do the right thing anyway. After a long pause, she whispered, "What if no one believes me?" "Then they'll answer to me," Daniel said calmly. "Men like him get away with this because people stay silent. Not this time." Slowly, she nodded. Together, they went to the break room, where Sophie shakily called the company's human resources department. Daniel stayed beside her, steady as a rock. She explained everything: the harassment, the retaliation, the fear. The representative promised an investigation and told her she wouldn't have to work her next shift until things were sorted out. When they walked out, the manager noticed them together and frowned. "What's going on?" he demanded. Sophie's voice trembled, but she stood straighter. "What's going on is that I reported you." The color drained from his face. You can't." "I can," she said firmly. "And I already did." Daniel stepped forward just enough to make his presence known. "You're done intimidating her. If you even look at her the wrong way again, you'll have more than human resources to deal with." The manager sputtered but said nothing. As they walked out, Sophie let out a shaky breath. I can't believe I did that." "You did," Daniel said with a gentle smile. "You're stronger than you think." She looked at him with genuine gratitude. "Thank you for not walking away." "Sometimes," he replied, "the smallest act of kindness can change someone's whole world." Later that week, Sophie called Daniel to tell him the company had suspended the manager and offered her more hours at a different location. Emily overheard part of the call. "Daddy," she asked, "is she okay now?" "Yes, sweetheart," he said, pulling her close. "Because sometimes you just have to stand up for someone, even if you don't know them well." If this story touched your heart, remember, kindness is more powerful than we think. Even a simple question like "Are you okay?" can change someone's life. Please like this video and subscribe to Kindness Stories so we can continue sharing powerful moments of compassion with the world.